between the business and the motherhood. So let's talk about how, if you're being laid off right now, if you're out of work, how it could be setting you up for your greatest purpose. So I am so excited to talk to you about this. So in 2008, I found out I was pregnant. I was working for a great company. I was making great money, and I was on top of the world. They were paying for me to go back to school, so I was doing both. I was working and going to school, and I was just on top of the world. And I ended up, I went on maternity leave. I had my son early. I came back, and I was laid off 2 weeks later. And this was in the economic downturn of 2008, 2009. So fast forward, a couple years go by. I had applied to several jobs, and everywhere that wanted to hire me, they wanted to hire me for much, much, much less than what I was previously making. And this did not feel good. I was very content with the money that I was making, and everywhere that I had turned, every job that I applied for was several dollars under what I was used to making, and it often was more responsibility, more things I didn't really want to do for even less money, and it just didn't feel good. So eventually I did settle into another accounts payable job, and this is about the time that my son was diagnosed with his special needs disorder, and I went to my job because I was feeling like I didn't have enough time with him, right? So here I went to them and said, I'm not expecting any less work. It would just like one extra day off. Same amount of, I was willing to do the same amount of workload, less time. So, and they said, okay, but 3 weeks later, they sat me down and said, your services are no longer needed. Gulp, right? So if you're in this position, I want to give you some hope, and I want to give you some ideas on how you can move forward from this. So when I left there, I both had a relief and a fear. I was so relieved to be out of that job because I didn't really want to be there. I wanted to be home with my son. I knew this was a blessing in disguise. However, the fear of not knowing if we had enough money to pay for our lifestyle, not knowing if we had enough money to pay for groceries, right? That is a real fear. And looking back, I realized ever since my son was born, different jobs I applied to, or whether I worked there or not, it was all directing me back to home. All directing me back to home. And so now I read astrology natal charts and knowing that I have my North Node in the sign of Cancer, which is the ruler of the home, and Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. Your North Node is the things that you are here to master, right? So this is so powerful, and once I was able to embrace this, things got easier. So fast forward, I started working from home. Things got a little easier. I incorporated some passive income. Things got a lot easier. And if being able to incorporate a business into your lifestyle and into things that you are naturally good at, things you actually like to do, you actually like to talk about, this is the direction of more ease, more grace, more flow into your life, and things don't have to be so hard. And when you are working with your soul codes, you are working with your astrological birth chart, then you can start to put these pieces back together. I recently did an astrological birth chart a couple weeks ago, and a friend of mine, and she said the fog has been lifted. All of a sudden, these things that she was already feeling nudges to do, all of a sudden she had permission to do it, because I was reading these things in her astrological birth chart, stuff that she already knew in her heart, but her head said, but I do this, or I don't know how to make it all fit, piece it all together, right? And so whatever you're feeling nudged to do, whatever you've put on the back burner, now is the time to do it. So whether you know that you need to be healthy, you need to make healthier habits, now you have time, right? Maybe you want to get a different job. You want to get into a different career. Now you have the time to explore those things that is really pulling on your heart, the things you know you need to do, the things that you've been putting off, you've been saying you wanted to do it, but you just haven't, right? So now is the time. So drop me a comment below. Let me know what is that thing that you've been putting off, and now is the perfect time to do it. What is if money and time were of no object, what would you be doing right now? If money and time were not important and were not standing in your way, what would you be doing? So let me know. I would love, love, love to hear from you. Have you ever had your astrological birth chart read? If not, I am opening up my calendar for 10 free readings on what is your North Node, what is the things that you're here to master, and how you can use this time to set yourself up for success. And also, we can look at the current astrological trends and how that is affecting you personally, because it's all going to affect each of us differently on a different area of life. For instance, all of these planets are in Capricorn, right? Capricorn just moved into Aquarius, and we have Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn. So all of this is happening in my third and fourth house. So third house is the house of learning, education, and fourth house is the house of home. So I would love to give you some insight on where this is happening in your chart. So leave me a comment below. I will set the link in the comments on how you can book that call.